Leon, the resource person, is still not in, right? I'm just checking. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah,
I think
yes,
now ma'am is in, right?
yes,
I
I
can
can
see
see
her.
her.
I can see her. Yes, 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 yes. That's really nice. Just give me a minute. Can we begin, please?
Hello,
Ms.
yes,
Zaidi,
ma'am.
can we
Good
begin, please?
afternoon, everybody. Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Ma'am, I'm just going to spotlight you. So if you need to put your camera on,
Yeah, I
please
will
do.
just right. I'm actually everything went wrong today. The
No
light
problem.
went. Thank God the electricity came back right now. So just give me a minute.
Thank
I'm
God.
joining from my laptop, okay? That's
Yes,
why my
please.
camera is
Yes,
off. Just one
yes,
minute.
please. Take your time. Take your time.
Till I joined from my laptop. Very good afternoon to everybody. Thank you so much for your patience, and I'm extremely sorry for the delay. Actually, I'm in Kargil, and usually the internet is not so bad, but there are days when the electricity goes for a long time, and we are not able to connect. So the electricity went at exactly 2 o'clock. I'm so
Oh
glad
my
that it
God.
came back. Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
glad that it came back. I'm
So
just
without
joining.
much of, yeah, I'll just introduce
Yeah,
you, ma'am, and then you take it forward
sure,
before we have any more hiccups.
sure.
That's really nice. So, Miss Zaidi, first of all, a pleasure and a privilege to have you. I was just going through your profile and it's really amazing. Asma ma'am is a dedicated educator. She's an author. She's currently working as a school transformation lead in Kargil. If those for those of you who are wondering why is ma'am in one of the most unfriendliest zones which we associate with the Kargil war, she's the founder of Let's Read and a CENTA certified professional with a PhD scholarship. Her work focuses on transforming schools and promoting literacy. Ma'am, all yours. The stage is all yours. They
Thank
have
you
been
so
waiting
much.
very patiently to hear from a
Yeah,
veteran like you, and I'm sure they're going to have a fabulous learning experience.
thank you so
Please
much.
take it away, ma'am. Please take it away. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for the invitation. And once again, I'm really sorry uh, for for the hiccup. I'm still trying to join from my laptop. But till that happens, um, so we are going to talk about, I think the topic given to me today is classroom management. I'd just like to know where these teachers are from so that I have a sense of background, what kind of people I'm dealing with, and where they are working and which schools they are from. Is there any coordinator, or ma'am, can you give me a little bit of a
I
brief?
can give you a very small brief seeing the people who were coming in. Actually, if you see the messages, I know we don't have time for that, but they are from all over the country. The maximum attendees being from Mumbai and from Maharashtra. The reason being is because we are all coming in through an organization called the Unaided Schools Forum. It's an organization that looks after the interest of private minority schools. It is mentored by Mr. Kedia, Mr. Jairaj Thakkar, the Jamnabai trustee, and Mr. Surinder Hiranandani of the Hiranandani Foundation. And they conduct training programs very frequently for the teachers. This is one of those programs, ma'am. So a lot of us are from Maharashtra and a little bit of a scattered crowd from Goa and Gujarat as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'll do something instead of me going on the laptop because it's taking hours. Can I just share it with you? Can I share my presentation with you? Hello?
Please give it to the technical host. He has the screen sharing rights, etc. of everything.
Okay, can I
Mr.
have the
Leon
email address?
Santosh. Yes, yes, yes. Just put it
Hello,
on the
yes,
chat box, please.
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Ma'am will mail you the presentation.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know what
No, no,
happened.
please don't be.
because-
Please don't be. You're taking us back to our COVID days where we were firefighting this thing all the time.
Yeah, because I don't know why it's not opening. The electricity is back and it should connect by now. I don't know why it's taking so long.
We'll give you an email ID of the host and
Yeah,
you can take
I'll
it from
just
there.
yeah, I'll just take it there.
13 new messages should be in one of them. Santosh, have you put your email ID up? Shall I do it?
Ma'am, can you do it? I just contacted Santosh, but he's
Huh.
not answering my call. Can you do the
Oh my
needful?
God.
Just, you know.
Shreya, is Shreya there?
Yeah, do you have a colleague with you? We can give her the screen sharing rights.
1 minute, I'll just speak to Shreya, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if
After the
I do it
presentation.
from my phone, it's not gonna be good.
It'll take forever.
I'm
Yeah, it'll
trying
take
to
for really ever.
join Zoom. Yeah, I'm trying to join Zoom from my laptop. I don't know why it's not happening.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry to disturb you. Can you come online? Because there's some technical glitch. No? Because unable to record. Can you come online? Join the session, please. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, I've asked Shreya ma'am to join in.
Yeah. So, sure.
Yes.
You're giving me the email address?
Email address you require of
Yeah,
let me-
whatever, to share the screen.
okay, let us join
Share
in,
the
ma'am.
presentation.
Let Shreya ma'am join in. I think so then we can take it forward.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for the delay. And I've been sitting on my laptop since 2:30.
Oh,
Sorry, 1:30. Till that starts and till I give the presentation, I'll just give a little bit of an overview. So today my topic is classroom management, and can I have a little bit of a, just a discussion with all of you? If you can write in the chat boxes, what do you know about classroom management? Like, what comes to your mind when we say classroom management, and how do you think a classroom can be managed? I'd like to see the responses in the chat box, please. Organized, yes. Organized. Joyful, yes. Attention grabbers for students, yes. Interactive. Engaging. Exciting. Well planned, very good. Discipline, okay. Fun, organizing the toys, teachers, and preparation, very good. Achieving learning outcomes, happy and interactive, reachable, fun filled, very good. Engaging, child centric, hands on activities, positive learning, motivational talks. Wow. Hands on activities, playway methods, friendly environment, relevant, audio, video, sensory, okay, child centric, fearless, experiential, and child centered, fantastic. Relationship building, very good. Love for
No, ma'am.
learning, very good. I think I'll join. Uh, I joined the group. I joined the Zoom.
You joined
Okay,
understand.
very good, very
Ma'am.
good. Positive and respectful classroom environment, very good. Awesome. Thank you, teachers. That was a wonderful, that was a wonderful response from all of you. So
Excuse
yes,
me.
I think yes,
One sec, ma'am. Asma.
yes,
Shreya, ma'am, would like to query.
yeah. I've
Check
joined
with you.
Zoom. I joined Zoom from my laptop.
So you are able to join in, no? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I joined Zoom. Just give me access. I'm on another laptop, so I'm
Sure,
leaving
ma'am.
this and I'm joining that one.
Okay, ma'am. Please take.
Thank you. I was trying to unmute. So yes, absolutely. Those are all the things that are that work well for a classroom management strategies. What do you? So some of you said some very good points. Uh, Planning, having a planned classroom obviously makes classroom management so much easier. There is another term which Montessori uses. I'm a Montessori fan and a Montessori trained person. So I use the term prepared environment. Does that make sense to you? Have you heard that word before? Prepared environment? Yeah. So prepared environment is a term that we use in Montessori, especially for classrooms, because we feel that when you have a prepared environment, when you have a classroom that is Vinny, easily accessible to all children, and a classroom that has been designed for children, for them to learn, for them to engage with, for them to have freedom with, that's where you are able to get a real sense of children get a sense of ownership, and we are able to manage the classroom really well because everything that the child does is suitable and age appropriate for the child. So classroom management has got a lot to do with preparation and planning, right? And today's presentation, I'm going to take you a little bit, I'm going to introduce a different perspective to you. And hopefully, this perspective is going to help you manage classrooms better. I think all of you already know a lot of shout outs and classroom structures and attention grabbers. I think all of you are already familiar with all those things. So I wanted to give a different perspective on classroom management, if that's okay with all of you. सॉरी, आज से भी हमको कोविड की याद आ गई. I don't know what's happening. We have an online class every single day in the evening, every day from 7 to 8. And we never have internet issues. I don't know what's going on today. I'm sorry about that. But I wanted to, even if I'm not able to share the screen, I wanted to talk to you about creating a positive classroom culture, which in turn helps us to manage the classroom better. I hope that this is going to give you a different kind of a perspective on um, managing a classroom. So, have you guys heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Yes, no? Are you able to hear me now? So, Maslow was a psychologist and he gave a very, uh, yes, as in you can hear me, or yes, as in you know Maslow's theory. So, Maslow was a psychologist and he says that people have got different types of needs. So he said that people have basically got physiological needs like sleep, drinking water, going to the bathroom, your body needs. These are needs which every person has. And then uh, if these physiological needs are met, then you have the second need, which is for your safety. So, for example, if a child does not have proper food to eat, is hungry, or is sleepy, did not sleep well for some reason, then the child is not ready to learn, especially young children, because they don't have the capacity to overcome their bodily tiredness or their weaknesses and have that enthusiasm for learning, because young children are still not able to have that strong willpower like older people. So for small children, physiological needs really matter. Similarly, if the physiological needs are met for a child and you are able to get food, water, you can sleep, but the child does not feel safe. For example, in places like, I mean, this is very relevant to my situation because in places like Kashmir, where children don't feel safe, they are not ready to learn. So whatever kind of an environment you have, whatever kind of facilities or attention grabbers you have, if a child is not feeling safe, then he's not ready to learn. uh, I think you can take this from the point of view of an abusive household, or for example, if the child is scared of the teacher, scared of something that happens in the school, if the child is being bullied, again, all these conditions come back to safety. So, safety is a huge factor in having a classroom or having students who are ready to learn and willing to cooperate with you. इसके ऊपर आता है sense of love and belonging. Love and belonging is another human need. So everything let me ask you, let me throw the question back at you. What are the things that we do in our classroom to ensure that the children feel a sense of belonging? Have you ever reflected on that? I mean, of course, we love our children and we are all kindergarten teachers. So we show them love and affection, which is direct. But indirectly, what are the things that we do in our classroom to make sure that children feel a sense of love and belonging? You can write it in the chat box. Give a listening ear, provide a safe environment, bonding with the child. Yes, these are all intangible things. Circle time, talk about it, hugging, listening to them, comfort. Yes, correct, absolutely. But what classroom structures do you create? What physical things do you create for them to have a sense of belonging? Correct, strong rapport. These are all behavioral things. These are all abstract things. We cannot measure them, and I cannot see it. What, putting names on their chairs? Yes, Ruchi, exactly. Putting names on their chairs. What else can you do? Display the children's work. Fantastic. Yes, you display their work. What else can you do? Appreciation corner. Yes, Ridhi and Sia. Appreciation corner. Cubby hole labeling. Yes. Making eye contact. Fantastic. Having their photos and having an incentive board. Yes. Birthday chart. Fantastic. Birthday corner. Rewarding them with smileys and stickers. Fantastic. These are the things that we do in our classroom to create a sense of belonging. Even the door decoration that you do. We all do door decorations where we put the names of the children and we put their photographs so that they see that this classroom belongs to me. So when we do things like this, and when we have birthday chart, photos, names, labeling their names everywhere, having their list of names in the class, then the children feel a sense of ownership and a sense of belonging. So there is nothing that is going to be completely new information. This is all information that we already know, but we are bringing it to our conscious mind so that we are able to uh, deliver the topic. Then second thing is building the child's self-esteem and confidence. So if we are able to build the child's self-esteem and confidence, then that also helps to create a positive learning environment. And on top of that, the last thing that a child needs to do is have, for example, we help the children to develop so much confidence that they are able to do the best in whatever we are teaching them. And that, ladies, is the trick to having a fantastic classroom where children actually listen to us and we are able to build a positive culture. I'll try one more time to connect my screen so that you're able to see what's going on, right? Just give me a minute. I will not try to expand it because I think every time I try to expand it, it's going away. Can you see my screen? Yes, no? Can you see my screen? Yes, having trust and confidence in the child, absolutely. You can see the screen, right? Okay, great. So let's go down and let's see. This is the hierarchy of human needs. Okay. The bottom one was physiological. The second one is safety. Then it is love and belonging, self-esteem, and actualization. So if we want to manage our children better and build a relationship with our children, with the students in our class, then it is really, really important that we are mindful of all their needs as little human beings. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you. Now, the next thing that I would like to bring to your notice is the design of man. And I think this is one of my favorite things to talk about. Uh, you can see two types of people over here. One is ancient man who lived thousands and thousands of years ago, and one is modern man. Can you tell me in the chat box what are the differences between these two types of people in terms of their development? Civilization, yes. Body structure, okay. Brain, yes. Lifestyle, thinking levels, okay. Self-grooming, physical appearance, education, habits, eating habits, maturity level, only the lifestyle. Different perspective. Fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody, for your responses. I would like to bring out one thing in, I would like to point something out that if you notice in the development of man over a period of thousands and thousands of years, the development of man has not really changed. During evolution, the brain has developed, yes. The prefrontal cortex and the thinking ability has developed, yes. But children, infants are still born in the same way. They still have the same developmental needs like the Neanderthal man. Does that make sense to you? Are you able to understand the uh, weight of this sentence? I hope you are able to understand because we are not able to communicate, but I hope you're able to understand the weight and the impact of the sentence. That means that a human baby that is born in 2025 has the same needs that a child that was born during the, during before Jesus Christ had. So in so many thousands of years, the needs of man, even in the AI world, has not changed. Man still needs to walk. Man, the baby of a child, the baby of a human being still needs mother's milk. The baby of a child, the baby of a human being still needs to move, still is dependent, still needs external stimulation to develop language, to develop movement. So the needs of man have not changed. And hence the needs of children have not changed. The needs of, even if we are in the AI technology world, the needs of the children that we have in our class are still the same that was 1,000 years ago. I hope you're able to make the connection. So our children in our classrooms do not need tablets. They don't need phones. They don't need screens. They don't need YouTube videos for their sensory stimulation. They don't need, extra songs and loud music and colors and things for their stimulation. They are still children who are developing language in the same way, who still have the needs for social and emotional development, who need physical movement more than anything else, and their work is actually play. Okay, so if you are able to understand the depth of this sentence and the depth of this concept, then we will plan our classrooms very differently. We will probably not have classroom tables and chairs. We will not have children sitting in one place throughout the day in front of a blackboard. We will not ask them to write so much. We will encourage activities and exploring things with their hands and real objects. Does that make sense to you? No? Yes? I'm waiting in the chat box. So I hope they need proper traditional way of teaching, but with little playway and love and care. Hina, maybe not traditional teaching anymore. Because you know why we are not able to manage our classrooms and our children? Because our children, their brains have developed really quite a bit, but their body has not. This is what I'm trying to point out to you. Can you understand that they are getting a lot of knowledge through the phone? They don't need you to teach them ABC and 1, 2, 3 and songs and rhymes and tell them about animals and pet animals and wild animals anymore. Am I correct? The child who is coming to your classroom now already knows a lot of things because most of the parents have exposed children to YouTube and to different kind of platforms for reading, for storytelling, for all those things. Then why is the child coming into your class? The child is coming to your class because there are different areas of development that still need to be taken care of. It is not about ABC and 1, 2, 3 and colors and names of pet animals and wild animals and birds. That is knowledge aspect. The child is coming to you because you need to take care of developing their critical thinking skills. You have to ensure that their physical development is appropriate. You have to ensure that their language development is appropriate. You have to ensure that their social and emotional part of their development is appropriate. And for that, you have to be a mindful educator. And you have to create environments and activities in your classroom where you are giving what the children need and not what you think they need. Right? And again, this is where management comes in, classroom management. Because when you are forcing a child and giving them concepts and giving them things which they don't want, their body doesn't need it, that is when we have a difficulty in managing those children. But if we are able to align our classrooms according to the developmental needs of children, then classroom management becomes really easy. I'd like to see a few responses and see if you are able to understand the concept. Love and warmth, safety and security, patience and understanding years. Absolutely, ma'am. But more than this, you need space to run and move. You need a place to play. The children need freedom and the children need a little bit of independence. They want to do things on their own. So your lesson plan should have different aspects where children are able to understand, do experiment with their own hands, have some freedom to move, to run around, to move and play, and then you do your other things. First, their needs have to be taken care of. Okay. So in order to have positive classroom climate in early years, uh, we definitely need to start our day with planned lessons and have handy teaching aids. We definitely need planned energizers and activity breaks and a safe and secure place for the children to share their thoughts and their learning experiences. Here are a few things that I had compiled to help you understand. Let me see if I can do a slideshow. Yes. Alhamdulillah. Okay, great. So these are the whole school approach which needs to, these are some ideas and strategies which can help you manage your classrooms better. A circle time instead of a table chair, flooring arrangement is always great. Just to give you a little bit of perspective, here in Kargil, there are no furnitures, not in the houses, not in the schools. So even in my own house, we have nothing. We just have a carpet. And believe me, I'm eating the same amount of food. I've lost a few good kilos. I feel more energetic. I feel more alive. I feel lighter. And that is because the lifestyle has changed. You know, I'm walking more. I'm sitting on the floor, using the Indian toilet. These are all things which need to come back for the development of our children. How many of our children use the Indian toilet these days? They don't. But we know as adults, we know as educators, we know as uh, well-informed people that Indian toilets are really important for development. So what I'm trying to say is that again we are going back to the needs. The human body needs movement. It needs to sit. It needs gross motor skills development before it comes to fine motor skills. So before we are using pencils, before we are using paint brushes, our gross motor skills, gross muscle development has to be strong. When you have a floor seating arrangement, right, it constantly allows the child and gives opportunity to the child for movement. And this movement is a small change that you can do in your classrooms, but it works wonders. When you take away the furniture and you get floor arrangement, it's a little out of the box idea, but I think it really works. Okay? And circle time, having a circle time, obviously, I'm sure you all do circle time. Um, uh, Everybody knows how effective it is. Whole body listening. This is another concept which you can give to the children. When I say whole body listening, give me five. I mean 5 things that you should listen to. Your body should listen to the teacher. Your hands should listen to the teacher. Your eyes should listen to the teacher. Your mouth should listen to the teacher. Your ears should listen to the teacher, of course. So when I'm talking of whole body listening, and this is something that you can train your children for, then your body cannot be doing different things while the teacher is talking. Your hands should not be pushing and pinching and kicking and hitting when the teacher is talking. So whole body listening means your body, your hands, your eyes. You cannot be talking when the teacher is talking. And you have to pay attention with your ears when the teacher is talking. Right? So whole body listening is another very effective strategy which helps to manage classrooms. And then, of course, if you have a wall chart like this to see where the children are at, and if you have pegs with their names, and every day you can just keep moving the pegs to see where how the children are behaving in a classroom. I think this is really effective. If anyone would like to share anything in the chat, I'd be happy to see and respond to you. If you want circle time, then circle time, somebody had said guide about circle time. So, ma'am, in circle time, what we do is, I'm sure all of you have different themes for the year. If you don't, then you should have themes for the year in pre-primary classrooms and not just use the books. Circle time is help to develop cognitive thinking, to develop language, you revise things like months of the year, days of the week, good morning song, goodbye song, manners, animals. You can, you take children in small groups and you can talk about one of the things that we do in circle time is show and tell. Show and tell is a very, very effective activity for getting the children to develop speaking skills, because I want you to remember, I'm going a little out of the topic, but I just wanted to touch on it, that language is developed by listening and speaking and not by writing. Unfortunately, the tragedy of India is that the children spend half their early years life, 3 years, listening and speaking to mother tongue, but when they come to school, they do reading and writing in a foreign language. Listening, speaking, reading, writing should be in the same language. So, how much of listening and speaking do we do in English before we begin writing in English? बात समझ में आ रही है? So, listening and speaking is very important, and that is what we do in circle time. Yes, noisometer is also a very effective chart to have in the class. It helps to control the noise levels in the classroom, right? So, circle time, you do songs, rhymes, stories, concepts, show and tell, and then you get the children to say stories and give the news every day, right? Let's go to the next slide. In a classroom, I think organized classrooms make a lot of sense. And can you see the timetable that is there in the middle of the screen? This timetable has got pictures along with the text, which helps the child to understand what is going to come next, instead of having a perplexity because they're not able to read yet. So when you put up pictures in the timetable, it helps children to understand what is going to come next. And that timetable kind of gives children a sense of safety and security, because they know what to expect and what is going to happen. Imagine if I put you in a room, or even for this session, for example, if you did not get a brief about the session, how do you feel about the session in the beginning? But what if we had prepared for the session? What if I had given you a gist about what I'm going to talk about? What if I had given you information about what to expect? Would that have made things different? Even as adults, we find that more comforting. So for children, for them to know what to expect and what is going to happen with their time is a really effective way of managing children, especially those who are naughty and those who are still insecure in their emotional development. Okay, let's go to the next one. Giving independence in early years goes a long way in managing a classroom. We should try, I don't know what kind of classrooms you have and what type of schools you work in, but if you are able to insert little ways in which children can exercise their freedom of choice and are able to do things independently, then it goes a long way in developing relationships with children and in managing children and managing classrooms. Classroom is, like I said before, the classroom has to be compatible with the child's needs. If there is a classroom that has no furniture and a lot of space to move around, and where the children have the freedom to choose about what activities they want to do or the way they want to learn. And mostly children these days are kinesthetic learners. They are no longer auditory visual learners, they are kinesthetic learners. So when we give them more choice and freedom for independence, for movement, for choosing how to learn, then that also helps to develop, that also helps to make management of a classroom much better. Before I move on, I think it is very important. One thing that I've not written here is to develop a relationship with your children. That is of prime importance. You should know every child's name, every child's background. You should first develop trust with the child. The child who trusts you is going to eat out of your hand. But if the child doesn't trust you, he's going to give you help. तो जो सबसे नॉटी बच्चे हैं ना क्लास में, जो सबसे बदमाश बच्चे हैं, try to develop a relationship with them first. Find out about their background, about their parents, what kind of a house they live in, where they come from. Little things about the child's background which will help you understand where what kind of an environment the child is coming from. And it will give you also an idea of how to look for the needs of the child. So the most difficult children to handle, if you can dig up a little information, find things out from their parents. Sometimes in my experience, I have seen that the most extremely difficult children to manage are the ones whose parents are working and the parents don't have time for the child, or the parent belongs to a single family or a broken family, or there is some kind of abuse, or the child is extremely pampered by grandparents and mates. It is only under these circumstances that children are unmanageable. Otherwise, for normal children with normal parents and a normal household, usually children are inherently, like from inside only, they are eager to learn, and they are friendly and they are secure. If a child is behaving differently, if a child is insecure, if a child is crying, if a child shows aggression and violence, or the child is not ready to learn and not interested in learning, then this is not normal. That means something is going on which you have to figure out. Either it is too much TV, or it is too much pampering, or it is too many luxuries and too many things at home, or there is some other issue which needs to be resolved before a child can learn. Does that make sense? Are you able to follow me? I'm waiting to see responses in chat. Okay, great. The future of classrooms and classroom spaces is having no walls. So I think we need to really break away from, these classroom structures where हम पुराने जमाने की तरह, we have blackboards and we have children sitting in tables and chairs in front of us, and we are on the blackboard and we are teaching and children are following. I think as modern educators, you really need to talk to your management and to your team leaders and principals and change that space. Because changing the space of the classroom, the having more freedom to move around in a classroom, having more mobility in an earlier setting is going to really change the game of handling children in your class. Okay. Correct. Okay. Now if we talk about the futuristic skills, I'm sure you all have heard about um, the 5 C's for 21st century. Do you know about the 5 C's for 21st century? So the 5 C's for 21st century are critical thinking, if you want to write it down, communication, creativity, compassion, and communication. So I'll say it again. Communication, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. Did I say 5? Communication, collaboration, compassion, creativity, and critical thinking. Okay. So, like I said, children don't need knowledge from us anymore. What children need is for us to develop these transferable skills. And the only way to develop these transferable skills is when we give children the opportunity to be creative, the opportunity to think of solutions to problems, the opportunity to work together in a team, learn from each other, um, understand each other's differences of opinions and likes and dislikes, and when we teach children compassion. Okay. So in a classroom, you will find that when you are, and when I say critical thinking and problem solving, I know we are talking about little children. तो हम उनको ये नहीं बोल सकते कि we need to build a bridge. What kind of material can the bridge use? Or how we cannot talk of big things, right? Because they're small children. So what kind of problems can we have children solve? We can help them to solve problems, and we can do this in circle time also, about things which are happening in their daily lives. So for example, mama is giving uh, Maggie in the tiffin box, but Maggie is junk food, and teacher says don't bring Maggie to school. How do you solve this problem? Somebody is bullying me in the school. He's a big boy and I'm getting scared, and I know my friend is being bullied. How do we take care of that situation? Problem solving. I have pen and paper on my desk, and every day the pen and paper slips from my desk and falls down, and I have to bend it and pick it up every time, 2-3 times in one period. My pencil falls off the table. So how do you solve that problem? Understood? So things which are relevant to a child's life. 1 minute, please. I'll just charge my laptop. So when we say problem solving, we are not really talking of big problems, adult problems in an adult world. We are talking of children's problems, something that is relevant to the children, something which is happening in their daily life. Maybe they want to play with a toy and the toy is broken. How do you solve that problem? Maybe they want colors and it is not available, or mama is saying she doesn't want to go. How do you solve that problem? So problems which are relevant to a child's life, I think it's really important that, I know this is not a part of your curriculum or syllabus, but these are the skills that a teacher needs to have in order to These are the fillers that you need to do in a classroom. This is the direction in which you need to take your education. So when you are teaching in a classroom, all these things really matter. And this is exactly what helps you to, this is exactly the difference that is between you and between somebody else who doesn't know how to manage a classroom. You need to give children ample opportunity to make sense of the world and the people inside it, right? So you need to give children opportunity for them to learn, for them to explore, for them to see different things around them. Take them for field trips, take them for walks around the neighborhood. And when you are taking children beyond the classroom, when you are really giving them, really giving them something new every day, that is when the children are going to start paying attention to you. Imagine a child who is so enthusiastic about coming to school, and when the child comes to school, the teacher is teaching him pet animals and wild animals and saying, "Children, do you know doggy says bow wow? The cow gives us milk." I mean, imagine how boring is it for a child to come to a classroom where the teacher is telling him stuff that he already knows. Nothing new, nothing exciting, nothing different. ये तो हमको पहले से ही पता है. What are you telling us to learn and telling us to see? So whenever, for example, if you are doing just walking around the neighborhood, taking a child outside, get talking to them about buildings, about different types of stones, about plants, getting them to learn how to cross the road, or I don't know, any activity which is nearby your school. I don't know what locations your schools are in, but just generally, like what is happening around them. If we are able to help the children to explore, to open their minds, to give them a broader aspect about things, trust me, the child is going to respect you and it will be so much easier for you to handle them. So you need to strengthen the stimuli in the brain, and you need to repeat activities. You must plan activities for free time in the classroom. Generally what happens is that the teacher, that the children who are bright, we don't plan for them. Children who are slow learners, everybody plans for them. But the children who are bright, nobody plans for them. The maximum that I hear teachers say is, "Go, Nana, help that. You finished your work, no? Be a good girl. Go help somebody else." Correct? And the smart children always create chaos in a classroom. So it is up to us to plan the classroom and to plan for those smart children who finish their work before time, on time, and who are quicker than the other children, and plan activities for them. Something new, something different every day for every classroom. You can have these jigsaw puzzle kind of things. You can have, activities. You can have artwork. You can have beading. You can do different according to themes. You can have so many hundreds of ideas for a child who finishes work fast. And then you will notice that everybody wants to do work fast. Why? Because everybody wants to play. So plan activities, extra activities for the quick learners and the quick children in your classroom. It is always helpful that we have things like essential agreements at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year. And usually in the beginning of the academic year, we repeat these essential agreements over and over again for the children, to give boundaries to children, for them to understand what they are supposed to do and what they are not supposed to do. So for example, as you can see on the screen, we raise our hands and wait for our turn to speak. That is an essential agreement in the classroom. We will only speak in English. That is an essential agreement in the classroom. We will keep our classroom tidy and neat. We will finish our work on time. We will help, care, and share. We will repeat, cooperate, and we will respect, cooperate, and be responsible. We will walk in a queue. Now, also notice the language of this agreement. The teacher can also write, don't run. The teacher can also say, don't talk loudly. What is the difference in saying, don't dirty the classroom? What's the difference in the language that we are using? Absolutely. We are not using negative statements, and we are not using having a negative impact. We are using positive statements. So we are saying, we are using positive language. Yes, building a sense of togetherness. We will do it as a classroom activity, as things which everybody is supposed to do and share. So we use positive language for children. And instead of saying rules for the classroom, we say essential agreements. And this is something that you must do and repeat so that children are able to learn and children are able to soak. There is also, remember, when we are dealing with small children, like you have to understand how habits change and break. So it takes time. You know, there are steps to learning. If you can see me for 2 minutes, there are steps to learning. The first step is that somebody tells me, for example, we will speak only in English. This is a rule that I'm trying to implement. Now, just because I set this rule today, do you think from tomorrow all the children are going to speak in English? No, right? So as a teacher and as an educator, you have to understand that there are steps to learning and changing behavior. The first step is that we say what we want. We will speak only in English. Now the child also knows that he's supposed to speak in English, but he doesn't know how to. Do you understand? So it takes time for the child to internalize that thought and have the ability to actually speak in English. So what is your role as a teacher? Your role as a teacher is to support them with phrases and sentences that they can repeat and learn and reuse and use so that they're able to follow this rule of speaking in English. Second thing, first there is first I'm given a rule. Second step, I know the rule unconsciously in my mind, but consciously I'm not able to do it. The third step is that I know the rule consciously in my mind and I'm making a conscious effort to follow. In the last stage, after almost a whole year or maybe 6 to 8 months, it takes that much time for the child to internalize and unconsciously follow the rule as a habit. So as an educator, we also have to understand that just because we are putting new rules and giving new directions and having like any new learning that is happening in a classroom, it's not going to be automatic. Just because you've said it today doesn't mean that it's going to start happening from tomorrow. You have to make things work. You have to make it happen. And you have to give time to children to internalize that process and to actually fall into the rhythm and into that habit. Simple thing like putting chairs inside the table, putting things back where they belong, putting shoes in the shoe rack, I don't know, putting books back into the place instead of leaving it on the table, putting toys away, right? So simple things like this. It is not that children are disobedient ladies. and teachers, it is that children take time to internalize new learnings and to unconsciously bring it into their habit. I hope you have understood the difference. I would like to see your responses in the chat room. Yes, we can, Minkurani, we can give the children also rules to discuss and finalize. That is a good way. But initially, for very small children, um, you will have to kind of support them to, to develop or reach a consensus for essential agreements. Yes. Okay, so we are all good. Shall I move ahead? So we actually have the pyramid model says, I don't know what's wrong with the text and the font today. Everything is not proper. Let's see if we are able to play this link. We all know the internet is slow today, so let's give it a minute to try and see if it's going to work. Okay, sorry, I tried. I tried to play. I had a video here for you. Can you hear me? Can you show me a thumb up? Ripujita, can you show me a thumbs up? Are you able to hear me? All right, awesome. So sorry, I tried to play a video, but it's not happening because of the internet. So let's go down. Like all students, teachers also need to have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset, right? Uh, and promoting the growth mindset language goes a long way in dealing with students and managing classrooms. So like we did the essential agreements, you saw that using positive language makes a huge difference. Instead of having a negative connotation, if you use a positive connotation in your language, children are also able to sense that thing. So when, for example, when I do trainings, my teachers always tell me, yeah, ma'am, we also like to do all these things, but our parents don't listen. Do you have that problem also? Our parents want us to do writing. Our parents want us to give homework. Yes, you also have that problem. So this is, I feel that this is, according to me, this is a fixed mindset because we have assumed that our parents are going to behave in a certain way. But just like your mindset changes with training and by attending workshops, why do you think that a parent will not change his mind after listening to you? And if you give the parents a workshop, have you ever tried to give parents a workshop? No, because we think it is only for teachers, right? But the real truth is that parents are also ignorant about a lot of things. They don't know how. They have not studied child psychology like you. They have not studied child development the way you have. They have not received the type of training that you have. So how do you think a parent's mindset is going to change without any kind of an orientation or a workshop, right? So we need to change that. We need to change that story about parents, and we need to sort of arrange a workshop for parents also, maybe half an hour, 15-20 minutes, and talk to them about relevant things which actually make a difference in learning. For example, how is a language learned? Just now I told you in the beginning of the training how a language is learned. If we say the same thing to parents, don't you think that the parents will change their mind about homework and writing and everything? They will. We haven't given it a try. We just assume that parents have a fixed mindset and parents will not allow certain things to happen in school, right? So I personally have seen in the remotest of places, in the most, I'm living in Kargil with parents who are uneducated also. Even when I was in Hyderabad, with uneducated parents, with uneducated mothers, we were able to create a change and bring in positive environment for learning simply because we shared our learning with them. Parents always want what is best for the child, but we assume that they will not budge and they are rigid about certain things because we don't think that the parents also need to be trained and they also need exposure about child development and child psychology. So if you are able to do that, you will find a huge change in parents mindsets. Similarly, having a growth mindset in a classroom environment develops a growth environment, a growth mindset for students in your classroom. Instead of saying, no, you cannot do that, allow the child to do it and have a positive growth mindset for yourself and allow the child to feel that he is able to do things which are maybe not meant for him. For example, carrying a tray with a glass. Okay. Generally, what do? We give children steel glass. Why do we give steel glass? Because we have a fixed mindset. The child is going to break it. So we don't trust the child. A, we don't trust the child. B, we have already assumed in our head that he is going to break the glass. Do you see my point? Small thing, but see how your mind works. So when we have a fixed mindset about what we think that the child is going to do, we have to break free from that framework, from that, from that set assumption, and we have to move towards uh, trusting the children and experimenting and doing things differently. For example, taking children to the park. When I initially, when we were in Hyderabad, we were in a very vertical building type of campus. We did not have a playground. We did not have a park. Okay. But we wanted to take the children to a park because the children had absolutely no movement. So I said, I want to take the children to the park. Everybody was like, no, no, they're going to run away. They are going to, it's very dangerous to cross the road with this attitude. Fixed mindset. हम पहले से ही हमने सोच लिया कि ये नहीं होगा. But if you think out of the box, we told our traffic policeman for that area that this is the time we want to go to the park. We want to cross the road for the children. Can you manage the traffic for us and help us to cross the road safely? He agreed so nicely. Yes, he will do it for us. So we got the traffic policeman to stop the traffic, to give us the time we planned it. We told the children, we counseled the children, We told the children that we want to take you to the park, but there are certain ground rules that you will have to follow. You will have to hold each other's shoulders. You cannot go out of the line because it is dangerous. How do we cross a road? Where do we look? How do we stay alert? How do we follow instructions? Listen to the whistle, right? We prepared the children, we counseled them. And guess what? Going to the park became a weekly thing. How were we able to manage the children outside the classroom? Because we used positive language, we trusted them, we had a growth mindset, right? And we counseled the children, we prepared them for what to expect. And that is also another trick for a classroom. Whenever you have something different happening, for example, you have a PTM, which is different from the normal routine. You have an annual day or a show. You are calling, inviting parents. You have something different happening in the classroom. Or you have, I don't know, you are having a magic show or a puppet show or a different kind of a storytelling, whatever it is that is going on. You manage the children, plan it properly, counsel the children, talk to them about what to expect and what is going to happen. Tell them about how they're going to feel. There are going to be a lot of people. I'm going to say this. When I whistle, you're going to behave like this. When I clap my hands, I want you to pay attention. I don't know what it is, whatever it is that is happening. According to that, you give children instructions, and you will find that the children are going to be extremely cooperative. But what is the difference? The perspective is for us to change. We have to change our perspective, develop a growth mindset, and trust the children. Trust them. And prepare them for that change. And you will see magic happening. All right. And I would love to get feedback from you even after this session. If you have incorporated anything in your classrooms, tell me if it has made a difference in the way you have been able to handle a class. So, yeah, so we can have learning centers. Obviously, this is not an Indian classroom. Obviously, this is not an Indian classroom. Our classrooms don't look like this. But what I'm trying to say is that have learning centers. Ignore the cots and the things behind you, but see the learning centers. All of us have shelves. Organize your classroom. Like I said, take away furniture. Trust me, take away furniture, life is going to become so easy. Have different learning centers, different carpets, different spaces in the classroom, and you will see so much difference in children. Even if you have 3-4 classrooms and a small school, I have done this in Kargil, so I'm sure you will be able to do it somewhere else also. We have zero resources over here. But what we have done is we have converted, and we don't have space also. So in some of the small schools, we have converted classrooms into learning centers. And the children move from classroom to classroom throughout the day. And that is also working. So sometimes you have to think out of the box. Obviously, my Kargil school doesn't look anywhere close to what you are seeing on the screen. Obviously, we don't have so many resources, but we've planned it well. And we've made learning, we've incorporated learning into the classroom. So when we are dealing with children in early years, we have a lot of children who misbehave. So when we have misbehavior, like when we have behavior issues, we have to step back instead of getting agitated and instead of responding. We have to understand what is going on with the child. So the first question to ask yourself is, the first question to ask is, are they hungry, tired, or sleepy? Physical, physiological needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. First, check the physiological needs. Are they hungry? Are they tired? Are they sleepy? Do they have bad adults? Is there a poor parenting style? Did you do a background check with the children? Do you know anything about their parents, the kind of house they live in, the kind of, environment they are growing up in? You have to check that. Do they have gadget addiction? Are they attached to their screens and their tabs and their mobiles? If yes, behavior issues are bound to happen. It's not, it has become common now, but sensory processing disorder or tactile dysfunction has become a reality and has become very, very common in the past 2, 3 years. Sensory processing disorder usually happens in children who don't have enough movement in their lives. Okay. So when the easiest remedy and intervention as teachers, as early as educators, is to get the children to move in different ways. So get them to crawl, get them to jump, get them to jump on one leg, ask them to climb the stairs. I swear I'm not exaggerating. In Hyderabad, I had children who were scared of climbing stairs. No exaggerations. I had children who were not able to climb a ladder 5, 6 steps. Why? Because they had severe vestibular issues. And we had to work with them for 1 month for them to climb a ladder. Children were not able to play with a ball because they did not have reflexes to hold a ball and throw the ball. And I'm talking about real children in real classrooms, right? I'm not giving you stories. So children, these are all due to sensory processing disorders. Even if you are not trained, even if you don't have any idea, if you do simple play activities like climbing ladders, crawling in a tunnel, uh, uh, you know, swimming, cycling, catching and throwing a ball. If you are able to do this also in your classroom or outside your classroom, it is going to automatically solve a lot of issues that the children are having regarding sensory processing disorders. These are basic things. You have those swings and merry-go-rounds. How many schools have merry-go-rounds? कौन से स्कूल में मेरी गो राउंड है बताओ? How many schools have merry-go-rounds? Shruti, I'm so glad that your school has a merry-go-round. But I got only one response. Swings are there, Darshana, that's great. But merry-go-rounds are very important. So what I'm trying to tell you is कि आप अपना environment, अगर, if you critically look at the school where you're working in and the kind of environment that you're providing, you will only notice that in the playgrounds, we have less merry-go-rounds now. Those circle merry-go-rounds. So important for vestibular development. Have you heard of children becoming sick in the buses, throwing up in the car or in the bus? That is because of vestibular issues. So when children are able to, acha, pehle khelte the na, when we were younger, we used to play that giggly, holding hands and going round. Now, how many children can go round? They can't go round. They'll vomit. Because their sensory processing, they have sensory processing disorder. And why do they have sensory processing disorder? Not because they have anything wrong with them. There is nothing wrong with them. The only problem is that they don't have the correct type of movement. And believe it or not, these disorders and these issues are directly connected to reading and writing. This is my research paper. So I know what I'm talking about. And I'm promising you that once you correct movement, once you correct play, 110% reading and writing and learning and memory and everything is going to come back into its place. I'll give you one small example before moving ahead. I know I'm deviating from my topic, but a small example. How many teachers are dealing with speech issues? Have speech issues become a problem these days? Are there more and more children who are having issues with speech? Yeah, you have noticed speech issues? Okay, why do you think you are having speech issues? Give me the answer in the chat box, please. Why do you think you are having speech issues? Why do you think you are having speech issues? Have you ever reflected why you have? No, not lack of communication at home. It's one of the reasons, but not the nuclear family, listening, screens. No, no, no. Mobile, gadgets, lack of confidence. No, madam. I'll tell you why we have speech issues and you're going to be shocked. Speech, and listen to me carefully, speech is directly linked to breastfeeding. Have you ever thought about that? Breastfeeding for one whole year is preparation of your mouth for taking out sounds. The sucking that happens, no, that the infant that latches to the mother's breast to exercise the mouth, exercise the vocal cord and the tongue, and make it strong for speech. Instead of breastfeeding, when we give bottles to children, you are making the process so much easier. Shortcut hai na? Instead of hours of breastfeeding, which is a painful process, you are feeding the child in 2 minutes and your job is done. You get back to your cooking and cleaning. But ये shortcut कितना महंगा पड़ता है ये कोई सोचता नहीं. This shortcut, you're paying for this shortcut because children don't have their mouth is not prepared to talk. So imagine, I can very confidently say that if you go back to the children who have speech issues and ask their mothers whether the child was breastfed or bottle fed, 90% of the time you will see that the child was bottle fed. And sometimes in some cases, if the child is breastfed and still has issues, that mentally. But most of the time, it is our environment and our shortcuts which the children have to deal with. No, they have to pay for basically. So anyway, coming back to our topic, dysfunction, emotional and social dysfunction and dysregulation are the cause of misbehavior in a classroom when you're not able to manage your children. Right? And I can tell you, again, I'm saying with full confidence, I know what I'm talking about as an early years expert. By the way, just for you all to know, I'm also the early years expert from India for Special Olympics team. So I have conversations with a lot of other researchers and doctors and people in the international arena, and we talk about child development a lot. And so I'm saying it with full confidence that your reading, writing issues, behavior issues all come down to simple play and movement, which is unbelievable but true. If you regulate movement in the classroom and you regulate play in the classroom, 90% of your problems are going to be solved. You will not need all your attention grabbers and all the other things. Rare but unknown cases of abuse also. Another very simple technique for classroom management is to be a positive role model. Okay. It is also very important to have positive male role models. If you notice, young children are surrounded by females, teachers, mothers, aunties, sisters. It is very important for children to have positive male role models also. So, in whatever form that you provide, that the child has a male role model, whether it is a parent or it is a brother or it is a bus wale uncle or it is whoever it is, anybody, but we need to have a positive role model. Okay? So we need to have lot of modeling for the children. We need to be patient in order for the child to learn patience. We have to talk softly for the child to learn to talk softly. We have to be in charge of our emotions for the child to be in charge of their emotions. We have to be patient. We have to stay positive. We have to help each other out. We have to support. We have to take care of our health. We have to do all the positive things that we want the children to do. Now, whenever I see a classroom where the children are making noise, I see the teacher shouting more than the children. Stop it! Quiet, all of you! Finger on your lips, bubbles in your mouth. Quiet, 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 everybody. That is what I see. So the teacher is making so much noise. What are the children doing? They're just imitating her. Right? So if you want the children to be quiet, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Chat box, please. If you want the classroom to be, yes. If you, Bhageshri, good. When you want the children to be quiet, you have to become quiet. That is the only way they are going to imitate you and be quiet. Do you see the difference? When you are making noise, how can you expect silence from children? So if silence, then you have to be silent. And they're going to imitate you. If we want to, be sharing and caring and all that sort of stuff, then the children have to see it. We have to model it with others, with other mothers, with other teachers, with our assistant teachers. We have to model that behavior. Also, we need to give children opportunity for physical development. It's perfectly okay for children to carry heavy things. I don't know why we have, the modern world and the modern way has become to treat children like China dolls. I am dead against it as an early years expert. Who says children have to be treated like China dolls? No, don't do this. They can't hold this. This is heavy, yeah. It's too much for the child. It's too much pressure for the child. It's too heavy for the child. Nonsense. Children are young adults. They have been doing things for centuries. How has it made them different now? Right? So children need to carry weight. Children need to carry heavy things. Children need, play and movement. And by the way, this carrying heavy things has actually got a name. It's called developing the proprioceptive sense. You can Google it later. And proprioceptive sense is again a very important sense that has to develop in the children, which is directly connected to learning, reading, and writing. So children have to develop proprioceptive sense. So allow children, give them that space to experiment with things. Use art as a positive behavior strategy in the classroom for classroom management. Whenever a child is feeling angry or is violent or is very aggressive, give him space to do painting and drawing and coloring. and you will see that the child calms down. Teach children amygdala hijack. Tell them what amygdala hijack is. You know what is amygdala hijack? Quickly, I think we are running out of time now. Do you know what is amygdala hijack? Okay. So amygdala hijack is the part of your brain, your old brain, which reacts to fear and which reacts to any kind of a danger. So when a child is in any kind of danger or any kind of fear or is scared or or is feels threatened, not really threatened, he might just feel threatened. So the child starts behaving differently. The child becomes aggressive. The child starts hitting or biting or throwing things, throws a tantrum. So train the children. When the children calm down, train children in circle time to do amygdala breathing. Simple. This is your brain. I cannot go into detail about brains and amygdala hijack, but just teaching you a simple technique. Can I see all of you close your fist like this? This is your amygdala. Okay? Can you all show me your fists? This is your amygdala. Breathe with your amygdala. Blow out with your mouth. Breathe in with your nose. One more time. So every time there is a problem in the classroom or the child is scared or frightened or angry, teach them amygdala breathing. Tell them, why don't you do 5 amygdala breaths? And instantly things are going to go away because you can train your brain. So train your brain to calm down through amygdala breathing, through brain breathing, right? And when you use these little tricks in your classroom, everything works like magic and calms down. Getting children to do physical work and connecting with the earth. How many of us know as adults that earth is magic? Soil is magic. It takes away, if you are walking on the earth with your bare feet without any shoes and socks, it takes away all the negative energy and negative ions from your body. Do you know this? We know it, right? But why don't we do it with children? Sometimes children like me, when I am in Hyderabad, I don't have a garden. I live in a building. Under my house, there are concrete roads and footpaths. I don't have a garden space. Even if I want to, there is no park near my house. So sometimes school is the only place where children have a little bit of muddy and earth and soil and grass for them to feel under their feet. Please, as an early years educator, allow children to take their shoes and socks off and walk and run in the mud and run in the grass. These are small little things, but they go a long way in calming children down and in bringing, helping them to regulate their moods and their emotions and taking away negative energy from them. Anything that has gone wrong at home, any kind of fear, any kind of ill feelings or anger is going to disappear when you walk on the bare mud and ground with your bare feet. It is extremely therapeutic for adults and it works equally well for children. So in the break period, take that time out. Take children once in a while to go into the garden, to go into the walk on the grass, to walk in the feet, to get their feet dirty, and then teach them, train them how to wash their feet, wear their shoes and socks again. Independent skills. Don't do it for them. Don't get the Ayamma to do it for them. Teach children how to wear their shoes and socks. So you are doing 2, 3 things together. You're helping them combat negative energy. You're bringing them back to earth. It's therapeutic, and you're teaching them independent skills. So sometimes books and paper and writing is not the only answer. Sometimes a simple thing like walking in the garden without your shoes and socks can make all the difference in the world. And it really does help. Okay? Connecting with nature, connecting to animals, and connecting with plants is always extremely therapeutic. Yoga, obviously, everybody knows about yoga, and working with mud and clay. Like I said, earth, working with earth with your hands and walking on earth with your bare feet. I think it is the most simplest therapeutic thing that you can do with children, especially for children who have issues, any kind of issues, any kind of special needs, any kind of behavior issues. You can try it with them, and it is going to work like magic. And just so you know, um, in advanced countries like Denmark, like Japan, like Finland. Finland is very in these days. Finland, they are going back to basics. They are going back to forests. They are starting forest kindergartens. So imagine what is happening. Countries like Finland are going back to forest kindergartens, and we are stuck in classrooms. Right? So, simple things like connecting with animals, with soil, with nature will help to calm down children and will help them to regulate their moods. Okay, I think my time is up. I will just show you a few pictures to get you a sense of building proprioceptive sense. Proprioceptive sense is built through sports activities, by yoga, by hanging, by carrying heavy things like chairs in the classroom, by playing in the mud, by squatting, like I said, Indian toilet, squatting, picking up heavy things, picking up fruit, picking up heavy bags, picking up pile of books. This is all good for the children, and proprioceptive sense directly regulates mood, social behavior, emotional regulation, reading and writing. Promise guaranteed. So build these things in your class. Connecting with animals and nature, fantastic thing for early years. I don't know how you can do it, but do it. Whether you take the children out, whether you bring the animals in, whatever combination or mixture you want to do. I don't know which cities you have your schools in, but however you can do it, please bring animals to school and get children to connect with nature. Storytelling, of course, storytelling helps to regulate a lot of behaviors in the classroom, to change mindsets, to deal with death, to deal with a new baby, to deal with change, to help children regulate their emotions. Storytelling, there are fantastic books that you can use, which help with, and if you want, I can give you a list later, but fantastic things which help children to work. And this is play, like I said, role play, free play, sand play, water play, playing with dolls. And by the way, this is not an internet photograph. This is a real photograph. This is my nephew. Okay, these are all real photographs. So I haven't taken pictures from the internet. So these are really things which children grow up with, which helps them to regulate themselves and their behavior for smoother, classroom management purposes. So I think that's the end. 4 o'clock. I'm sorry I started late. I tried to catch up. But if there is any questions that you want or anything that you want to share, I will be happy to answer your questions. And I will be happy to help in any way that I can. Anybody has any questions? Ma'am, maybe you can unmute them. they can raise their hands and we can answer questions. I hope I was able to change the perspective a little for managing classrooms. I know the usual way of managing classrooms presentations is, attention grabbers and things for you to do in the but I think जैसे हर बीमारी का इलाज जो होता है वो मेडिसिन से नहीं होता. Some things have a root cause. I think I always prefer going to the root cause. Shreya, are you there? Anybody from the ECA team? Thank you, everybody. And thank you for the feedback. I'm glad that you liked it. Yes, Jaya, you want to say something? Unfortunately, I can't unmute you. Can somebody unmute her, please?
Hello, ma'am.
Let's try.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
Leon
yes,
from Leon from Holiday School Forum. Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Has the session been completed? Oh,
Yes, yes. Session is over. Somebody
okay.
wants to ask a question, 1 or 2 questions, and then we can
Good evening,
close.
ma'am. I
Ah.
Miss Jaya here.
Yes, Jaya. Good evening.
A wonderful workshop, I must say. Really, we got short of time. Otherwise, it would have been more enriching. Just one question, ma'am, where you spoke about the proprioceptive sense. Parents,
Proprioceptive sense.
yeah. So parents are quite agitated at times when the bags are heavy. And after doing a bit research in school as well, we found out that children must not be carrying heavy bags, and the weight of the child and the bag ratio should be taken care. So when you said about heavy things, I just wanted to understand a little bit about that.
Yeah, see, when you are lifting heavy things, ma'am, you're lifting things from the front.
Okay.
You're bending down and lifting things with your hands. The bags you're carrying on your back,
Okay,
they are 2 different things.
I understand. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hanging, developing proprioceptive senses, hanging and lifting weight. And when we are talking about weight, we are also talking about age appropriate weight.
Right.
So I'm not asking children to carry bricks and stones or 12 10 kgs of weight. I'm saying little shopping bags of fruits, yeah, a pile of books. I'm asking you to carry things like that, and that is important.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Anybody else? So thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining the session. I'm really sorry for the delay and all the electricity fiasco that was happening at my end. But sometimes things like this do happen. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the session and a fresh perspective. I think that's it from my side. We can leave. ECA members or organizers, thank you. Thank you for your feedback.
No one is from ECA available at the moment.
Okay. So we
Okay,
can close the meeting?
Yes, ma'am. It's a wonderful session. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And you take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. So my connection is Asma Zaidi 2005 on LinkedIn, on Instagram, everywhere. So you can connect with me if you want to. Okay, and I also have a Instagram page called How Bachas Learn, and I have my own Let's Read page for foundational literacy. So you can connect there also. And on LinkedIn also, okay? Thank you. I've put my sign-in name in the chat. Thank you. Bye-bye.